Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you could be here today. I'm Annette, also known as Grandma D, and today we are here for another storytime video. And I'm so thrilled to be able to bring you another Michigan-based story by Kathy-jo Wargin. This one is called The Legend of the Sleeping Bear. This is a story based on a legend about the Sleeping Bear Dunes here in Michigan. And we previously read another book of Kathy-jo Wargin's, The Legend of the Petoskey Stone. And I hope that you will be able to go back and watch that as well, as I'm sure this one will be equally as exciting. But before we get started, I just want to say that I'm so glad that you're here, and that I hope that you will have your adult subscribe to my channel and like this video and click that notification bell so that you will know each time another story time comes up. So without any further ado, we are going to get started today and read The Legend of Sleeping Bear. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Lovely. These books are so interesting and they're so much fun to read, and I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I do. Now, before we begin, Kathy-jo talks a little bit about what is a legend. A legend is a story created about a certain person or place. Many legends are created as a way of explaining history. Most legends are based in fiction, which means they are not necessarily true. However, the real magic of a legend exists in the fact that it is a story passed on from generation to generation. In writing The Legend of Sleeping Bear, it was my goal to remind people why this legend is so meaningful, and to introduce new generations to the beauty and symbolism that lives on through the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. Here is my version of the legend, and may the legend live on in your heart. Kathy-jo Wargin. Many legends exist. Many exist in communities all over the globe. And I hope that you will enjoy this legend of the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. Long, long ago, before voyagers paddled canoes down rivers and streams, before mighty lumbermen cleared forests with sharp, shiny axes, before wooden ships carried sailors across great freshwater seas. Look at that. Isn't that a photograph? Wow. There's people paddling down the river, and that great woodsman, he's cutting down trees along the lakeshore. And there's a ship way out on the Great Lake. There was a beautiful forest near the edge of a mighty lake. Today, we know that forest as part of Wisconsin. And the mighty lake is called Lake Michigan. Look at that. Wow. Pretty amazing. But this was a time before many places had names or people. It was a time before farmers and many Native Americans planted cherry and apple trees in long, neat rows. It was a time before pioneers planted colorful gardens of pumpkins, potatoes, and corn. I love corn on the cob. Potatoes and pumpkins for Halloween. In this forest, near the edge of the lake, lived Mother Bear. Her fur was blacker than the darkest night, and her eyes were large and round. Mother Bear had 2 cubs, and they were very soft and playful. The 3 of them lived together in a small, cozy den, nestled among bluebells and buttercups. Look at that. There's a monarch butterfly. Look at that. Wow. Every morning, as the wood thrush softly sang pip, 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 and the chickadees called chickadee-dee-dee from the trees, Mother Bear and her cubs would lumber through the forest to the banks of the birch-lined stream. Wow, look at that. How beautiful. Do you have chickadees near your house? Do you have wood thrushes? Deer would gently bend their slender necks to sip the cool water, and raccoons would quickly wash their faces. Mother Bear and her cubs would step carefully into the stream, and as the fresh, clear water trickled by, Mother Bear would teach her cubs how to snatch plump, colorful trout for breakfast. Afterward, they would sit lazily on the banks, nibbling blueberries and hazelnuts. Lovely. Oh, there's the trout. Every afternoon, Mother Bear would lead her cubs through the forest to the edge of the mighty lake. This lake was so big they could not see the other side, and the water seemed to disappear into the sky. The bears would frolic along the sandy shore, happily splashing in the shadows and chasing herring gulls. They tugged at each other's tails and took long, cool baths. Every morning, Mother Bear led her cubs back to their warm, cozy den, where she cradled them in her big black paws and held them gently while they went to sleep. A baby cub. Isn't he cute? One morning, as they were lumbering along to the birch-lined stream, there was a loud crash of thunder and a sharp hissing sound. Snap! Pop! Mother Bear stood on her hind feet and stuck her nose in the air. A brilliant orange blaze flashed through the trees, and dark clouds filled the sky. Fire! Oh no! I bet you Mother knows there's something wrong. Mother Bear rushed her cubs to the banks of the stream and ordered them to follow it to the shore of the mighty lake. Bears dashed rapidly, deer sprang back and forth, and wolves ran wildly. Even the star-nosed moles hurried out from beneath the cover of the forest floor. Oh no, they're running from the fire. Oh no. As they reached the shore, Mother Bear gathered her cubs and shouted, "Children, we must go! We must swim across the mighty lake. My children, I love you so." They leapt into the water and began to swim. The lake was very deep. The water was so cold. The waves were tall and the wind was strong. They paddled hard and fast. Oh no. Mother Bear pleaded, "My children, do you promise that you will swim with all your might? If we are to reach the other side, we must swim throughout the night." The faithful cubs promised their mother that they would swim with all their might. Oh no, I wonder if they're going to make it. I wonder if they're going to make it. They swam and they swam, growing weary and tired. They swam as the afternoon sun grew large and warm. They swam as the sun slipped below the horizon and the air grew cold. As they swam, Mother Bear kept turning her large black face to make sure her cubs were not far behind. She watched as their paws struggled against the water and as their soft round faces became smaller and smaller between the waves of the mighty lake. Mother Bear grew worried. Soon nighttime fell upon them. The sky grew dark and stars began to shine. Suddenly the air seemed quiet and the water very still. In the distance, Mother Bear heard the trill of screech owls and the howling of timber wolves. Mother Bear kept looking back as she swam throughout the night. Through her tired eyes, she noticed the morning sun was beginning to rise, and it cast bright waves upon the deep blue water. She looked back once more, but could not see her cubs. Oh no. Oh no. Mother Bear collapsed on the banks of the shore. Her wet, heavy paws sank into the deep sand. There were rolling hills and huge mounds of sand all around her, and the land seemed very strange. She's on the other side of Lake Michigan. Mother Bear paced up and down the water's edge, but her cubs were nowhere to be found. Her wet fur gleamed in the fresh morning sunlight, and tears shone in her eyes. Mother Bear cried, "My children, are you coming? You are strong and you are clever. My children, can you hear me? I will wait for you forever." Wow, look at that. Her heart is broken. Mother Bear climbed to the top of the highest hill. She looked over the dark, deep water, but saw no sign of her cubs. Mother Bear called throughout the day, "My children, can you hear me? I know you must be near. My children, I am waiting high up here." Mother Bear waited until the sun set and another night fell upon her. She waited while the sun came up again in the morning. She's waiting for her cubs. She waited while the pink roses bloomed all around her and while the baby white-throated sparrows learned how to fly. She waited while the grasses on the distant dune became yellow and dull. She waited while the leaves fell from the beech trees. I think fall is coming. Mother Bear waited while the air grew colder and snowflakes floated down from thick, dark winter clouds. She waited and waited. Mother Bear waited, but her cubs never reached the shore. Poor Mother Bear. And high up on the hill, Mother Bear fell fast asleep in her sorrows. Years passed, and the winds of Lake Michigan blew blankets of sand upon her, keeping her warm and safe in her slumber. There she is, way up there on top of the hill, brokenhearted. Aww. Over time, the great spirit of the land felt her sadness, recognizing her dedication and love for her children. With a tremendous gust of wind, the spirit brought the cubs near shore, raising them out of the water as two magnificent islands, placing them forever within the watchful, caring eye of Mother Bear. Oh, wow. Wow. The cubs now stand suspended in time as the North and South Manitou Islands. Happy to be near their mother once again, they rest in the spirit of their mother's love. Two islands of gleaming sand, edged by waters that sparkle and dance in the sunlight. Wow, that's amazing. North and South Manitou Islands. Now Mother Bear can finally rest with great happiness, knowing her cubs are near. And today, when the world is quiet and the sun begins to set, you can still hear her voice echoing in the wind that blows across Lake Michigan. My children, as the years may pass and time slips through our hands, my love will linger near the shore and in the blowing sands. I'll send you kisses in the wind to let you know I'm here, sleeping near the water's edge. I am always near. My children, you can rest assured that we are now together. I am watching over you and loving you forever. What an amazing story. What an amazing story and a beautiful poem to end this book. The Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. In 2011, Americans were asked to choose the most beautiful place in the United States, and ABC's Good Morning America announced the winner, Michigan's Sleeping Bear Dunes. The outcome came as a surprise to many, as some of the competitors were recognized globally: the Grand Teton, Wyoming, Aspen, Colorado, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and Laniki Beach, Hawaii. The jagged mountains, gorgeous snowy landscapes to the Atlantic Ocean's majestic shoreline, and Hawaii's Polynesian paradise lost to the tranquility of Sleeping Bear Dunes. What keeps bringing us back to this place? To this legend? On October 21st, 1970, Congress authorized the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore to be preserved for the enjoyment of all. The adventures here are countless and mean something different to each of the 1,143,857 visitors who came to the dunes on average each year. The 64-mile-long, 103-kilometer expanse is home to 26 inland lakes, 2 islands, historic lighthouses, 12 miles, 19.3 kilometers, of rivers and streams, shipwrecks, and the largest cherry-growing region in the world. Resting on ancient glacial moraines, the dunes are tall as 400 feet, 122 meters, above Lake Michigan. Dunes are very special ecosystems, and the Sleeping Bear Dunes are home to 908 terrestrial, plant species, 4 endangered species, and 246 species of birds. Carved out of ancient glaciers, this national park offers researchers and tourists geological history and diversity of landforms in Michigan's humble mitten. It's a place for solitude, friends, and family. The rolling dunes, blue breadth of Lake Michigan, and soft, squeaky sand create a quietness that leaves many peaceful and thoughtful. Perhaps this is why Americans keep returning to the Sleeping Bear Dunes to safely rest our spirits in the serenity of this place. I'll show you this again. Isn't that lovely? What a lovely story about the Sleeping Bear Dunes and the legend of the sleeping bear. I hope that you enjoyed listening to this story. I certainly loved bringing it to you. This wonderful story is available on Amazon, and I am an Amazon affiliate, and I will leave a link to that in the notes below. And if you would like to have the legend of the sleeping bear for yourself, that is a way for you to obtain this book. And I highly recommend that you go to your local library and see if you can find it there as well. So this is Grandma Dee saying, I'm so glad that you were here with me today, and I'm so glad that we were able to have this time together. And I hope that you will come back next time and share another story with me as we read the next story in our princess series, Birds of a Feather, with Jasmine from the story Aladdin. This one is a story about telling the truth. So I hope that you'll be back next time for our continuing series, the Princess series. So this is Grandma Dee sending you warm hugs and butterfly kisses. And I hope that you know that I love you and I care about you and I think about you. Whether you're going to bed at night, getting up in the morning, getting ready to go to school, whether you're with your friend in the afternoon or your adult, listening to another story with Grandma. I hope you have a wonderful night tonight and a better day tomorrow. So this is Grandma Dee wishing you well, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.